Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week and the wild astrology we're going to be dealing with. So, let's talk first about moon water. With all that's going on, the moon water you make this week will be very powerful. So around the new moon and around the full moon, that's when the moon is at its most powerful. And if you make moon water, that is, if you take water, put it in a vessel, a cup, a jar, and place it where it can get the rays of the moon, and that can be the windowsill or outside if you're comfortable with that, as long as you cover the vessel, whether inside or out, because critters will find a way to crawl in. That's really all you have to do. You do it 2 or 3 days before the new moon. You let it reach its peak on the new moon or the full moon, and then you let it release the energy for 2 or 3 days after the new or the full moon. And that water, any time of the year, is pretty powerful and energizing. This time, though, wow, with everything that's going on, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be intense. And intense is the word for this week. So this week, everything, and there's a lot packed into 2 or 3 days, really 2 days. So I'm going to read it because I don't want to forget anything, and I'll just make comments as I go along. So we begin with, on Thursday morning, April 20th at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time, we have a time, what it says here, we have a time of big endings and big beginnings. Several intense transformational events are going to happen all at once. And it's not even going to seem like energetically more than one day. It's going to seem like one long, intense day. So on Thursday, the new moon, that means the sun and the moon will be in the same sign and at the same degree, will be at 29 degrees, 50 minutes of Aries. That means another 10 minutes and the sun would be in Taurus. Another 10 minutes, it will be Taurus. So what that means is this is the last degree of Aries. This is a powerful degree. This is definitely about new endings and new beginnings. Very forceful, very powerful, very intense. So that's one thing. Then this new moon is in the same sign and degree as a total solar eclipse. So the new moon will be at 29 degrees, 50 minutes of Aries, and so will the total solar eclipse. Eclipses, solar or lunar, are intense. Solar eclipses bring things, bring change, create new things. Lunar eclipses remove things, take things away. This is a solar eclipse. So not only have you got the sun and the moon in the same sign, so the lights, we call those, the sun and the moon, at the same sign, making it a new moon, you have that new moon in the same degree, sign and degree, as the total solar eclipse. So definitely new beginnings, big new beginnings. So huge new beginnings. Very forceful, very dynamic, very intense time. Now 3, we've got several points here. 3, the intense new moon eclipse. So you've got the new moon and the solar eclipse is exactly square. And a square in astrology is an abrasive or frictional aspect. And it is by its very nature intense. So we've got intense, intense, intense. So the new moon eclipse is exactly square in a frictional aspect to transformational Pluto. Transformation is intense. Pluto is intense. So we've got intensity, intensity, squaring, intensity, intensity. And this is happening in eccentric, intense Aquarius. So with Aquarius, you never know. somebody says, well, what's going to happen? And Aquarius is involved, or its ruling planet, Uranus. The answer is, you never know. So Pluto demands that we acknowledge and live truth, what the truth is. Not what you would like it to be, not what you would hope it would be, but truth. And it's an essential part of being, and being a part of the power of the world, of the earth plane. Pluto is also a great healer. So truthfully acknowledge your past and how you got here. And as you do, you'll go a long way toward a healthy future. Aquarius demands that we acknowledge and honor the humanity in everyone. It demands that we honor that in everyone, including ourselves. And too often, we aren't even on the list of the most important people in our lives. This time insists that we put ourselves on the list, and preferably at the top of the list. So with Pluto and Aquarius and huge square with the new moon and the eclipse, this is really saying it's time to support the social reform, to advance human rights, and to think and act in terms of we instead of me. This is really emphasized. There will also be opportunities for profound, often genius-level insights. So it's a remarkable time. And this is all just one day so far. And then we move on because 10 minutes after the new moon eclipse squares Pluto, the sun leaves the sign of Aries, dynamic, fiery Aries, and enters the sign of Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is about value, especially self-value. Taurus rules that. It rules healing. It rules money. Taurus rules how you deal with your possessions, how you deal with money. And that goes back to value, especially self-value. So since Taurus rules all of those things, behave accordingly. Be honorable with yourself and those you're involved with. Remember, this is a time of truth and of healing. And then number 5, barely 24 hours later, early Friday morning, April 21st, Mercury, our dear friend Mercury, goes retrograde until May 14th. Wow. I'm not going to say a lot of the things that I'd like to say about it because I'm just going to use as many positive words as I can about this. And it is positive, and great things can come from this. However, this is an intense time, and don't try to delude yourself because it's not going to work. There's intensity everywhere. So with Mercury going retrograde in the middle of all this stuff, you know the drill. Don't buy big ticket items like cars or houses. And if you have to, if you're forced to, make sure you have at least 2 or 3 lawyers who don't know each other check the contract out before you sign it. So do expect that plans will not go exactly as planned or hoped. That's Mercury retrograde. It's intense anyway, and then you combine it with everything else that's going on, it's going to be pretty intense. My advice to you during this time, self-care, a lot of self-care, a Zen attitude, meditation, and please don't take anything personally. You will want to, but don't, because it's not personal, although it's affecting you. With all that's happening, you'll definitely have an opinion. Please do not share it. This is not the time to express it. Certainly with everything going on and Mercury retrograde, no need to have to clean that up because there'd be a lot to clean up and a lot of it you won't be able to repair. So what I find in times like this, you're going to want to scream. Probably not a good idea with all this intensity to scream. So if you're at home, go into your bedroom, grab your pillow, cover your mouth, and scream into the pillow. If you're not at home, excuse yourself from company, head for a quiet spot, the bathroom, the backyard, whatever. Take a paper towel or a towel, put it up to your mouth, scream. This might sound like I'm joking. I'm not. So for those super cautious earth signs like Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, wouldn't hurt if you carried a small towel with you. Wouldn't hurt if anybody did. But knowing how earth signs are, always be prepared. Yes, you'll have one in your purse. It's time to scream into it. There's something that I think will help you a lot, and it is, And I've recommended this before. I'm recommending it now. Something happens. Something comes up. You'd like to respond. That's about it. Please respond. Please do not react. This is a wild, intense time in our world, and certainly astrology is contributing to it. And if you go along with it, instead of it being awful and bricks falling on you, you'll be able to build something great because you will have really increased your own strength and your own viability in the world, and you'll have a sense of value, especially self-value. You will have a sense of that self-value that's going to move you forward, move you into the world in a way that those new beginnings can really pay off for you. So be good to yourself. Have a great week. Make moon water. Remember,